Hi and welcome to another episode of Nattabox, which is the podcast where I like to talk to lots of inspirational people from the world of music and entertainment, sports, business and health and well-being. And today I've been looking forward to finally getting the chance to meet this fabulous lady in person. I had the opportunity to speak with her a couple of years ago, initially during Psoriasis Awareness Week. And Sona Sohal is someone who has gone through her own personal journey when it comes to psoriasis and having dealt with it from a very, very young age. But rather than allowing it to hinder her future and her life, she has turned things around, so to speak, and she's now helping plenty of people who are also in a similar boat to herself, having developed her very own natural skincare range. So without further ado, it gives me great pleasure to welcome Sona to Nattabox. How are you?
I'm going to cry, that was such a nice introduction.
Oh, bless you. It's true though.
Oh,
it's
so
true.
lovely.
And as I said, to be able to get the chance to meet with you in person, because we spoke a couple of years ago when I first got you on one of my radio shows.
That's right, yeah.
And I can't even remember. I feel like it was one of my other guests. I think there were a couple of gentlemen who came on who mentioned when I said, oh, if you know anyone else in the area of sort of health and wellness and well-being.
Oh, I remember.
Yes.
It was my good friend Vishal, and they did their own podcast as well.
That was it.
The Shaded Podcast.
That's the one, yeah.
Yeah, so I think it was by them that they were like, we need to get her on as well.
Yes, 100%. So very, very grateful for their connection.
100%.
But I just thought when I spoke to you that your energy, your spirit was incredible, but especially the story in terms of how you've got to the stage where you are now. I just felt that it was something that was perfect to share with the people who enjoy Nattabox.
Yeah.
So you are someone who has dealt with psoriasis from a very, very young age. So do you want to sort of tell us how it came about and just sort of start us off from the beginning, really?
So as a young little girl, I didn't have any sort of skin condition until, say, the age of, I'm going to say 10, 11 years old. And psoriasis is an autoimmune deficiency, so therefore it's related to your gut, okay? So when you get butterflies, it's related to your gut.
Right, yeah.
When you feel a certain way and your tummy goes a little bit, tingles and everything like that, it's related to your gut. So when you're stressed out, there are so many other factors that come in. And one thing when you're stressed out is your skin can really play up. And at that point in my life, unfortunately, I lost my mum. So it was a huge, big, massive loss for me. And I think, well, I don't think, I 100% know that's definitely what's triggered it off, because there was no sort of, genetically, none of my family members who do have any sort of skin condition.
Yeah. So
one day it just turned from little red spots to then becoming slightly bigger, slightly sore, itchy. And now what you see on my skin, which is just different colours of skin, really. And I look like a cheetah, and I love it, to be quite honest. But that's how it's all started. And then since then, it's been a love-hate relationship. Initially, very much hate, because I was young, I was going through my teens. At school, it was like a huge, big deal.
Yeah.
It would be summer, and I'd be in my bomber jacket, because I just wouldn't want to show my skin.
Is that purely why then? It wasn't as well because the heat would aggravate it in any way? It's just purely because you wanted to just cover it up?
I just wanted to cover it up.
Right.
I did not want to see, I did not want anybody to see my skin. And being in a South Asian community, when you've got weddings or any sort of functions, you have some fabulous outfits, don't you? You've got saris, you've got lehengas. And I'd want to go to these weddings, but every single time somebody would say, what is that on your skin? And it wouldn't be in a very polite way, but...
Is this adults or youngsters?
Adults.
Wow.
And it's like, well, you've just, you do know what I've just gone through. You know that I've just lost my mum. Like, the last thing you should be saying to me and making me feel like absolute crap is saying, what is that on your skin? And it's people who don't have the knowledge about psoriasis.
Yeah.
And especially back then, doctors would just give you steroid creams. And I don't feel like there was a lot of research done back then, whereas now there are so many options, and you can take the medicated route if that's what you want. And I have gone there. I've done everything. I've got steroid treatment. I've done UV light. the light therapy, all of that stuff I have done. But it's never going to go away.
Yeah.
It's always going to come back. When I had my first baby, my skin was great during my pregnancy, and then once I had her, it came back with a vengeance. I did UV light therapy. I think I've done it altogether 3 times.
Okay.
But it's always going to come back. And I just had a little boy. He's really going to be 8 months tomorrow, and psoriasis is still here. It's come back, and now it's come back on my forehead, and it's something that I've just got to accept. It's part of me. I don't want to cover it up unless it's makeup, because then I just want everything to look similar, like even skin tone. But in terms of my arms and everything, it's got to a point where this is who I am.
Yeah.
I have psoriasis. Don't judge me, because I'm an amazing person. You've just got to talk to me and get to know me.
Now, I mean, you are, I think you don't mind me saying, absolutely stunning.
Oh,
and when you got here as well, I was like, the
you said-
makeup is so on fleek.
You know what you said this to me so many times. I think you just really bestie.
No, that as well. But you are so beautiful, and I mean, it's. I always think that it's just a shame that, especially in today's day and age, that people will still judge people based on first appearances, not even in terms of first impressions. So to form an opinion before you've even had the chance to speak is really, really sad, and obviously a huge condolences for the loss of your mom. Just going back to the childhood first and foremost, is it something that when you dealt with the loss that it was almost an instant trigger? Because again, our body, as you said, manifests stress in so many different ways. And that's a huge loss for anyone to deal with at such a young age. But I'm assuming that you're obviously your dad was there as well to be supportive at this time. So how was it for the dynamic of your relationship and I suppose him supporting you through not only a loss, but also to see that there was this huge change that was going on that he potentially couldn't necessarily do anything to help you with?
So, major loss. Obviously, he's just lost the love of his life, and then now I've got 2 older brothers, but they're obviously at uni, and now he's got a 10-year-old girl who hasn't even sort of gone through puberty and all of that stuff. So, but the great thing about my dad is that he's a doctor. So he's also a qualified dermatologist.
Okay.
So he knew what was going on. He took me to the specialist himself. But again, when it came to sort of the natural skincare part of life, he wasn't so connected with, because he's a doctor. All he knows is medication. So in terms of support, he knew why I've got it, and why it's triggered off, and why literally over, I would say, weeks, it just went from little to a lot, and it affected my whole body and my scalp. So you get scalp psoriasis as well.
Okay.
So that's where you get big plaques in your skin, in your scalp, and it's super itchy to the point where at night I wouldn't even realise that I'll be itching, and on my fingers there'll be like blood on my fingernails, and it would be that much. And he knew what was going on, but he was just trying to, my dad being my dad, it's almost like, well, this is life.
Yeah.
Let's move on, let's figure it out together. And it's not until I think I met my husband where it was like, well, we realised we wanted to get married and stuff, and then it kind of went on to, well, if you're taking all of these steroids, it might kind of affect, it might be in your bloodstream. Yeah. So if you are planning to breastfeed, then that's not going to be great for the baby either. So that made me think, well now what? Because when your skin is so used to and attached to steroid cream, you get withdrawal symptoms.
Right, okay, yeah.
Which means that once you stop using steroid ointments, your psoriasis is going to come back with a vengeance. Tenfold. Like horrible. And it takes months, years for your skin to then get used to just your skin and maybe natural skincare. So the support has always been there. My family have never ever treated me anything differently. And my dad has always been the man of my life. Like I would never ask for anything better from him. But dads being dads, it's almost like, okay, she's also going through a lot in terms of puberty. She's going through a lot in terms of she's lost a mum. But like, he's trying to connect and we're trying to connect. And I think we're more connected now than we were when I was in my teens and
Yeah.
stuff. So it was hard. It was hard. It was a struggle because we're trying to find out how we live life without mom.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to find out how we live life together and connect together.
Yeah.
And then we've also got our own things that are happening which are not great, but life goes on and this is a circle of life.
Yeah.
And, you know, let's do it together. So without his support, I wouldn't be the strongest woman that I feel like I am, for sure.
And at what age did you sort of reach that point where you thought, do you know what? I don't care what people think now, because I know who I am as a person, and I'm not going to allow my psoriasis to define me in any way. When did you reach that sort of point to think, I'm not going to worry about people's opinion anymore?
I think it was during uni. I think when I was studying, and me and my husband were both studying graphic design at that point, it just got to a point where I really wanted to just wear the clothes that I see all these girls wearing, and just look and feel like a woman, because I was just dressing like a bit of a tomboy, if I was quite honest. You know, jeans and just a hoodie, and you know, I'd alternate the hoodies now and then, sort of
Sounds
thing.
like me now.
You know, and it would be, you know, really, really long hair up, always in a pony, and then it kind of got to a point where, like, me and my boyfriend and husband now, we were just sort of, I don't know, he kind of brought the prettiness, the pretty girl out of me, which I always was when I was a little girl. I used to just dress up, you know, in my Indian clothes for no reason on a weekend and think that I'm a Bollywood actress, you know. That's what I used to do, and all of a sudden it was like, well, no, you know, you are beautiful. And then he used to see my skin and not flinch, not really say anything, and say, you know, usually I was expecting, well, okay, you know, you've got this. I'm not sure how it's gonna go down, or you think that people, or when you meet that somebody that you want to live the rest of your life with, you think that's going to be the first thing that's on their mind, which is, yeah, she's got a skin condition. I'm not sure if I want to be with her, and that's the things that would be in my mind. You know, I'm not sure if anybody's going to marry me because I've got this, because, you know, I want to show my skin, but I'm not sure how the family might accept it. And so it was during uni where he just didn't batter his eyelids. He took me for me, my personality, and the woman that I am, and until this day, the support from him. He's my business partner, the father of my children, and my best friend, and the love of my life. So
it sounds like a wonderful man.
Yeah, he is. He's great. And you were asking me, you know, the packaging and stuff for my skincare. It's all him. I just kind of told him, this is what I want. He's like, okay.
So he's been a rock for you.
Yeah, 100%, my rock. And that's when it kind of turned, when I was like, you know what, if you're all right with me, then I don't need to worry about anything. And that's when the confidence kind of came back, and I started like looking into my makeup, and I started, you know, cutting my hair and just feeling me, just getting to know me again, and realizing that, you know what, I'm all right, you know, like I can do this, and I can wear the clothes that I want to wear. I can, you know, experiment with makeup, and you know, go out and nights out, and, you know, it'll be fine. Like, it's okay, and then still be respectful with my parents, you know, my dad and my family, and make them realise that I'm all right now. Like, I've got this sort of thing.
Had you had any many encounters with people from when you were young who also had psoriasis? To have someone that could almost relate to how you were feeling, or to be able to speak to anybody about it?
No.
Really?
I think the gentleman that we said, Vishal, he's part of my community, and so I've grown up with him. So I started seeing that he started having, you know, getting it's not psoriasis, but it's vitiligo.
Okay. Yeah.
So he started. I started seeing vitiligo on his skin, and I would never question him, and he would never question me, because we just had a great time. Whenever we saw each other, we were just laughing all the time, and we were just, you know, and now for him to do what he's doing, which is what I'm doing, which is, I don't care about what you guys think about my skin. This is me, and I love myself. And that's all that matters. But if only I stayed in contact with him a little bit more, then we would have a lot more to sort of talk about and that sort of thing. But growing up, no, it was just me. Yeah, it was just me dealing with my stuff by myself.
And what's the? I mean, I know you're not a doctor or anything, but what's the difference between psoriasis and eczema? Because there may be some people who are obviously listening who think, well, is it the same thing, or is it in the same kind of family? What do you know what the difference is between the two?
Psoriasis and eczema. Eczema is something that the texture of the skin is a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
You more so get it where you sweat. So sort of,
right, okay.
You know, the creases of your arm, behind your leg, sort of underneath your armpit, maybe underneath your, you know, your bra line and stuff like that. And it's a little bit more manageable, I would say, than psoriasis. With eczema, it's still triggered by the food you eat.
Okay, yeah.
It could be dairy, it could be gluten,
yeah.
It could be all these things, and it could also be triggered by stress. It's similar, but in terms of how you have psoriasis, where I've got sort of little spots, and then they turn into different colours, and now I've got pigmented skin. It's not so bad with eczema. It's sort of much more of a patch, and then you can kind of just treat that area, and then it's kind of gone. Right? It doesn't spread as much.
Yeah.
Itchiness is probably the same. It depends. I wouldn't say my skin is not itchy anymore, but it used to be when I was growing up, when I was in my teens. But that's probably due to, you know, my hormones being everywhere. I do know that before I start my period, my skin starts getting a little bit more red. So as you can see, it's okay right now, but these little around these sort of spots would get a little bit more sore, a little bit more red. But I wouldn't be itchy anymore. But when I was growing up, it would be itchy as well. So there's similarities and there's differences, but the main thing is very much to do with your gut, 100%. So,
well, they say that the stomach is the second brain.
Yes,
that's something that I've heard on many an occasion.
Yeah, it's on Netflix now. There's a show on Netflix which is very much gut and the brain are related.
Really?
100% related. Yeah. So that's when you feel butterflies.
Yes.
And it goes to,
I
feel like...
Or your gut instinct. Yeah.
I feel a little bit easy, or I feel a little bit nervous. So you're going to see somebody for the first time and you think, oh, I don't know. It's all of that. Or when you eat something and you get a little bit of a weird sensation.
Yeah.
Maybe you've had a glass of milk after so long, but it's not suited you. It's your brain telling you, no.
Yeah.
That's not good for you, don't have it.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's what it's saying, then don't have it. You know, it's hard to cut out all these beautiful foods out in the world, though. You know, chocolate, it's great. It doesn't matter if it's dark chocolate or normal chocolate, it's still sugar. Cranberry juice, it's great, but let's have a look at the ingredients.
Yes.
And let's look at how much sugar it is. But how much fresh food and everything are you going to make at home? Our lifestyle does not allow us to do everything at home. You know, you'd love to make a fresh chicken Kiev at home, but really, how long is that going to take?
Yes.
You know,
breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
everything that's involved.
Everything.
So your diet, because I mean you mentioned with eczema that things like dairy or gluten is something that can help to trigger eczema more so. Do you find then that your diet isn't something that's directly, there's like a direct correlation between the two, or do you still have to be careful with what you eat? Is there anything that can sort of cause some kind of an inflammation?
While I was pregnant with my second child, I had a lot of yogurt. If it was homemade yogurt, I'd have a lot of yogurt, which is why I think that my skin flared up a lot once I've had my baby.
Okay.
And when you're breastfeeding, that has a massive effect on your skin as well. So dairy is something that I have a little bit of cheese or something. But in terms of yogurt, it's great. You want a granola or something like that, and you want to put yogurt on it. I can't. I've cut it out, not because it doesn't taste good to me, because I think it will taste great, but I think that it's good. It's going to affect my skin a lot more. Bread is great. I mean, any type of bread is great, but again, it's too much sugar in bread. So you can go for the gluten-free option, but again, very minimal. A Indian girl, so in our family and within my in-laws and stuff, you have, you know, curries and chapatis and rotis, and you know, I'd love to have maybe 2 all the time, every day, but I can't because it's still flour. you know. But if it's vegetables, I'll have vegetables with maybe a little bit of salad.
Yeah.
So I'm really trying to stay on top of it, but sometimes with lifestyle or having a baby who is up at night, sometimes you just go for the biscuits and think, okay, that's going to keep me going for a couple of hours and I'll be fine. But really, it's the wrong sugar to have. So there's right sugars, there's wrong sugars. There's, you know, there's the right fruits. Banana again is not actually great for somebody who has psoriasis.
Really?
Banana's great, right? It's like
is it potassium?
Potassium gives you energy. It's like the first thing you have, and you're supposed to eat it before you go to the gym and all that stuff. But it's not great. So there's so many things, and it's hard.
So restrictions.
There's restrictions, but it's so hard because is it going to fit your lifestyle? But you have to make it fit. You have to make it fit your lifestyle. But if you've got children who want the chocolates and the crisps and it's in the house, and you go walk past it, and then you look at it and you think, cheese and onion crisps, you can't go wrong today.
No.
You might have a few, but again, it might affect you. Alcohol is a no-no. You just don't do it.
Really?
Just don't do it. Alcohol will be in your bloodstream for months. That one glass of wine will affect you so much. And sometimes with psoriasis, some people will have, say, a glass of alcohol, and the next day they will see the impact straight away because it would just flare up just like that. Just like that.
Do you think a lot of people with psoriasis know this information? I mean, you because you've had it for so long, and again, we're going to come on to the skincare range, but you are obviously very, very well informed. But do you think that some people who have psoriasis are still a little bit in the dark as to what their triggers may be, or what's the best way for them to go about actually dealing with it?
I think the newbies that have got psoriasis, they just think, oh my god, why am I skin? But it's something that you can control. You just need to do your homework. You need to just, you've got the World Wide Web out there. Literally, you can just Google it and see what foods to not eat or restrict yourself. And don't do it all in one go, because that's going to harm your body as well. You just got to take it step by step, and maybe one day, 1 week cut out the bread and see how that goes, and then the second week just cut something else, and then trying to make a diary for yourself and see what has affected you or what you think has triggered it, and make yourself a little bit. You've got dietitians out there, you've got dermatologists out there. They've got the support out there. It's just, I know, and I've been there, because it's like you've got psoriasis and you think, why me? Like, why? There could be so many other people out there who deserve to have some bad skin because they've done wrong. But you've got it. So just figure it out and see what works for you, and do your research, or ask somebody like me, because there's plenty of blogs I've got up on my website and information that will help you on what foods. But everybody's different. Every human is different. What I could tolerate, you could probably not tolerate. So it's having your own journey with it and accepting that actually this is now my journey. Let me see what I can do with it, instead of feeling like I'm just so hopeless, and nobody's ever gonna want me. And I've been there, and I have been there. So I can't tell you that you're not gonna feel like that. But you've only got this life once, and I genuinely believe that you've got this journey in life to experience the whole wide world
and embrace it. So why waste it feeling sorry for yourself and thinking that you're not good enough? Because that's the worst thing you can think about yourself, is that you're not good enough. And I mean, as part of this journey, then, I mean, you mentioned at the start of the interview that, especially when you were young, you had some adults that were saying, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with your skin? How, over the years, have you dealt with that? Because I'm sure there's not just people as well within your own culture who have had comments to make. You must have come across, I'm going to say, some of the more ignorant people out there who just straight away have this sort of complete misconception. How has that been, navigating that? And I'm sure I saw on one of your, one of your socials, I want to say within the last month or so, where there was an experience in one of the shops or something where someone...
Nail salon.
Is that where it was? And
Yeah.
I think a woman had, whether she made a comment or just she was looking at you in a particular way, and sort of you had a little moment on social just to say, listen, I just want to point out, and I find it, like I said, I find it fascinating that we still deal with these mentalities in today's day and age, and it's also scary as well, because if that's coming from adults, children are so pure and so innocent. And if anything, they'll just ask questions. You know, they'll probably, sometimes it can be a brutal question, but it's can be so beautiful in terms of how they deliver it, because they don't mean anything by it. Yeah, once you get, but once you get to a certain age, and then you've got this level of ignorance, it's thinking, well, youngsters are potentially going to learn from these people. So how do you deal with this, and how have you dealt with this over the years?
So coming back to the stories that you might have seen, so I do something on my socials called Story Time with So Sona Skin.
Okay.
So these are, the first story that I ever did was something that I personally encountered was in a nail salon, and it was a Asian nail salon, and they were talking in a different language, Chinese or Japanese, I guess, and they were talking about my skin, and on your phone you can now do a translate. So I found out what they were talking about, and I realised that what they were saying was brutal. It was horrible.
Wow.
And I went to the manager and said, I'm not going to pay for my service because this is what they've said, and it does a whole transcribe of what they were saying.
I didn't even know the phones could do that.
I called them out basically, and I said, well, thank you so much for your nails, but I'm not going to be paying you because you don't deserve to be paid, because you've just literally made me feel like absolute crap. So that was one story. Now the rest of the stories are actually people who have come to me, because this is what I've asked them to do, is to come to me and tell me about an experience that they have had recently or whenever, where somebody has made them feel like absolute crap because of their skin.
Yeah.
So I've told them to write down what happened, and while I'm doing my makeup, I'm literally telling you a story, and then at the end, telling you how they are now and how they've overcome it. That's had a great response as well, because it's when you see the comments and it's still people going, oh my god, I can't believe there's people out there who say this, and it's crazy, because sometimes when you have psoriasis, it's so bad that you can't get up and go to the shops to just go and get yourself a loaf of bread or get yourself milk, because it hurts, and you could get psoriasis that bad that it's painful. Really? And it's just, I've come to yours and we're doing this. Yeah. Some people can't do that, and it's just a struggle for them. And for me, the way I overcame it is just the fact that it's part of me now. I can't get rid of it. There's no cure for it. So I need to figure out how I can help myself. And at one point I thought it would be the steroid route. I thought it would be the UV light route. And then it came to a point where I need to think about the natural skincare line. And
are you vegetarian or vegan, by the way?
I'm not.
You're not?
No. But I hardly eat meat, and when I do eat meat, it's very, very minimal. So, and I enjoy my food. I've grown up to enjoy food. I've grown up to literally go around the world and see beautiful places, and that's where I thought to myself, well, I need to carry on doing that, especially for my children.
Yeah.
Like, I want them to realise that Mum has psoriasis, and she's got her own business out of it, and she loves her skin, and she's not
a woman.
And yeah, I wish I was. And she's happy, and I think when I overcame that, I could walk into a room and people could see that actually she don't care.
Has your eldest ever asked you any questions?
Yeah, and she's now just like, so Mummy, I think I've been thinking about it. So I think I want a pink whipped body butter now, and I think you should put this in it, and it should have love hearts in it and stuff like that. So now she's like going to take over my business, which is great. But she always used to ask me, what's that? And she's got a habit when she goes to sleep, she likes rubbing my arms, and sometimes she'll say, oh, you're not having a great week this week, are you, Mummy? And I said, no, I'm a bit stressed out. She goes, don't worry, next week we'll be fine. And then the next week she'll say, ooh, your skin's so soft. So she's very much, she's grown up knowing about psoriasis and what it is and stuff. But it did get to a point where when I didn't care about what people thought, and I did walk into a room and you do walk into a room with just being confident, and then people can see that. And once people see that actually you're a strong, confident woman, and what you have in your skin does not define you, then the rest is history.
I mean, you mentioned the body butter,
Yeah.
and we've got some people are going to be listening, but there's going to be some people watching as well via YouTube. You've got an incredible range here. Absolutely, I'm in love with the packaging. I think it looks fantastic. And you mentioned that your dad being a doctor, so he sort of understands certain things, or a dermatologist as well.
Yeah.
So do you think your sort of transition into this, that him being a dermatologist is something that helped to give you that kind of little spark to think,
A little bit. A little bit for sure. Sort of looking into ingredients and seeing the pros and cons of having the steroid treatment compared to, say, natural remedies. But I think the main point of which was during COVID, when all of us were just sort of sitting at home, and by that time my husband had already had a beard care company, if I don't mind plugging that in.
Of course, no, go for your life. Yeah.
Called the Sodara Code.
You should have bought a little box of stuff as well.
I should have. And they already had been making their own beard balms, beard oils, and everything made in-house as well.
Yeah.
So he was like, "Son, why don't you think about maybe just trying something for yourself?" And that's when I was like, well, he's got the mango butter and he's got a few other oils. Let me just trial it and see what happens.
Had you tried and had you come across anything on the market that wasn't steroid based, that was sort of a natural product
There are a lot
for people with psoriasis?
The market out there is immense. It's massive now in terms of natural skincare. More so during COVID than.
Is that when all this started for you?
That's when it all started for me. Yeah, 100%.
So this is still essentially a bit of a new baby.
Oh, it is a baby.
Yeah.
100% a baby. But in terms of looking into sort of the natural remedies, was a little bit before that in terms of coconut oil, the almond oil and stuff. But actually putting something together was during COVID, and it started off looking like just crumbly. It didn't work out, and then I tried again and I did my own research and thought, well, I need to look at all the ingredients that I'm going to put in here, because the ingredients I put in everything has to help somebody who has psoriasis or has just normal skin and likes to use natural products.
Okay, yeah.
And then after lots of trials and stuff, I came to make a whipped body butter that looked like a whipped body butter, and it started to work on my skin. And
how was that at that moment for you?
For me, once I whisked it and then I tried it and then I went to spread it until even on Sunday I made evergreen, and my husband goes to me, "You have this look about yourself when you know that what you've made is really good." And he goes, you go like that and you go like that and you go. So until this, it was a great moment. I just, if it works, my thing is, if it works on me, then it's got to work for somebody out there.
So you were your own guinea pig?
Yeah, 100%. Why not? I mean, why not? If I react out of it, then it's on me, it's not on anyone else. So, and that's when I started making, I think I started off with Golden Hour, which is the yellow one.
Well, let's have a look what we got.
So
I'm coming around from my microphone slightly, hold on.
So the Golden Hour whipped body butters are at the front, so that's that one. So what I'm going to do, I'll open it up for you.
So we've got with carrot seed, rosehip and turmeric oil.
Yeah,
okay.
And turmeric is something that we put in our food, that we've always put in our food.
Yeah. I think I've got a turmeric latte.
There you go.
That I drink, before bed sometimes.
And you literally see,
it's beautiful.
So I make it all, I pipe it and I whip it and then I pipe it in.
Every single thing here is handmade by you.
By me.
You and you alone.
Me and me alone, 100%. And then when you go into it, if only you can smell it, because
let me have a whiff.
If I do this. Yeah. So that's Golden
like a
Hour.
Spa.
Yeah, 100%. So that's Golden Hour.
All natural, vegan friendly, cruelty-free.
Cruelty-free, and there's no X, Y's and Z's in there apart from what you read on the ingredients list.
Let's have a look.
So you can have a look. And it's all got the short version of what it is.
Mango, almond.
Yeah.
Coconut. I'm not even going to try and pronounce some of them. So
that's
you've given me the version. Oak kernel, rosehip, sweet orange, geranium, turmeric.
Yeah,
Apply a generous amount to clean skin. Add more as needed. and gently massage into the skin, use daily, morning and evening. So that's golden hour.
Yeah.
So golden hour, was that the first one you did?
Yeah, this is the first one I did. Great for somebody who has psoriasis or eczema or just normal skin, but great for somebody who wants to reduce any pigmentation to their skin.
Right.
So you've got turmeric, which is essentially, going to brighten up your skin. You've got rosehip, carrot seed oil, reduce any fine lines, even out your skin tone, and just make your skin look a lot brighter.
Yeah.
Great for summertime. Great for, just before summertime. Then you've got the other two.
Which one was the next one that you came up with?
Oh, evergreen, which is this one.
Now this is when I've spoken to you before, because I've got one of my friends whose daughter has, I can't remember when I messaged you, I can't remember if it was, is it eczema or, I think it's eczema or, yeah, one of the two. And I said, oh, what would you recommend from your range? And straight away you said evergreen. And is this the one that as soon as you make a batch, it sells out?
Yeah.
So what's special about this one? Let's have a look at here. Whipped body butter with avocado, broccoli, and oat oil.
Yeah, so this is what I call your superfood with body butter for the skin. Somebody who is has really bad eczema, really bad psoriasis, and needs that moisture to their skin, that intense moisture to their skin. You've got this one of that as well.
You would never think broccoli would smell so good. Oh my gosh. That smells so good.
But you have also got in there, which is why it smells, red mandarin, you've got lavender, you've got chamomile, which is going to really calm your skin down, and you've got patchouli oil. So in terms of what it smells like, there are no fragrances in here because fragrances will react to your skin if you have psoriasis or eczema. These are all essential oils which also have a benefit to your skin. So again, it's not just stuff that I put into the pot and I thought, let me see what that does. These are all ingredients that I have researched to make sure that your skin benefits from it. Whether it reduces your itchiness or whether it calms your skin down, because essentially psoriasis doesn't have a cure. My products are not a cure for your skin, but they will help relieve any sort of symptoms like itchiness, red, sore skin, and just makes you feel like you've got something nice on your skin apart from medicated options like that you have out there which don't smell of anything. At least this gives you that chance of actually, you know what, I can go for a bath, soak my body in some like sort of salt or whatever, and then I can come out of it and apply this on my skin and feel like and feel like I smell good or so
And what was the other one that we've got here? I'm being so nosy now, this is great. Blossom. Oh yeah. Oh, I like a bit of shea butter.
Yeah, so a simple butter.
I don't want to open it because I don't want to take a box.
I'll do it, shall I? A simple butter, very much shea butter, jojoba oil, and oat oil. Oat oil is majority in all of my skincare because oat is just...
Is that like a base almost?
The base is actually mango butter and almond wax.
Okay.
That's the base. And then all the liquids are... Whereas for this one, you've got shea butter as well. So you've got shea butter, almond wax, and mango butter. But this one has...
is it jojoba? Is that how you pronounce it?
Jojoba.
Yeah.
Yeah, jojoba. Yeah.
Or jojoba, as my mum would probably say.
And then that has lemon essential oil in there and lavender. So
that must smell good enough to eat. You're rolling. Listen? Have a little smell. Come and have a whiff, Liam.
That is so nice.
Ah, see.
it's a good one.
So what would you recommend this particular product
So this
for?
is great for anybody, to be quite honest. If you
All skin types.
All skin types. If you want that instant glow to your skin, this is the one. You will see instantly difference of your dry and patchy skin. Once you put this on, it's just going to look like you've got beautiful glowing skin. They're great for children, but still always do a patch test whenever you get any sort of skincare, whether it be mine or any sort of skincare. Always do a patch test and see if it suits your skin or not.
So the whipped range is the first range that you started with.
The first ever thing that I started off with.
So they were almost like the pilot range to a certain extent. So from when you sort of sat there and hubby's turned around to you and said, you know what, why don't you have a go, use some of the bits that I've got there, see if you can come up with something that helps your skin.
Yeah.
How long was that process then before you reached that kind of eureka moment to think, do you know what? I think I've got this now. I've nailed it.
Within a year.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, within a year for sure.
Was it frustrating?
Yeah, because it's something that I started, and it's something that I know that would work, and it's something that I know that I'd love on my skin, and it just wasn't getting to where I wanted to, and it wasn't piping, and then it wasn't setting, and then it kept melting, and then eventually I got it right, because there's all these equations that come into play. It's not just add a bit of this, a pinch of that. It's a whole formula that goes into it. And then once I figured it out and got it right, it was like, yeah.
So how did you get to that formula though? In terms of what kind of research did you? Because I'm assuming you had to do your own research within that period of a year to think.
Just my own research, and then like I said, my husband already had his company, so they already had formulas set up.
Yeah.
So it was going by their formulas and seeing, and then adjusting it to what I want, and then looking on the website, looking at competitors, seeing what they've got, and seeing how I can make it my own, and make everybody understand that this is not just a business for me, but it's actually something
personal.
That is personal.
Yeah.
It's something that I wish I did earlier. I wish I figured out when I was in my teens, but you're in your teens and you're just trying to grow up, and then when you're in your 20s, you're just trying to live life.
Yeah.
But then when you're in your 30s, you think, okay, I've got to be serious and think about what I want from life. God knows what happens when I'm 40. I'll let you know.
No, don't.
Yeah. I'll let you
I'm
know.
already there, thinking, oh my goodness me, I'm sitting here feeling I'm thinking I'm like so far behind based on everything. I'm sat here listening to you thinking, what have I done with my life?
No, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
No.
Did you consult with your dad at any stage as well?
Yeah.
Did he help in terms of his expertise as a dermatologist?
No, it was more so I gave him a few parts and he was like, oh, this smells good, this is good, this is great. Because anything that is not medicated,
yes,
and as a doctor it's probably going against it, but everything that's not medicated and that can work for somebody, which is all natural, why not? Do it, Sona. Just do it.
Is he proud of you?
Yeah, I think he is. He probably doesn't.
In a dad way.
In a dad way.
My dad's a bit like that as well.
It's that sort of relationship where we're not lovey-dovey.
Yeah.
Do you know what it looks like? We give each other a hug.
Yeah.
And then we say, are you alright? Yeah, I'm alright. So where'd you got a job? Yeah. It's one of the, it's like,
Liam's met my dad, so Liam kind of knows that's, me and my dad are very similar. Or if I do go around and see him, I sort of go to give him a kiss on the cheek or something, he doesn't move. Yeah. And then I'm like, you've got to get some awkward head angle. I'm like, well, don't work with me here, Dad, will you? And then, I won't tell you sometimes what he says, oh, headbutt me next time. No, I don't. It's like, well, just, yeah. I think sometimes that's just Dad's.
You've got that tomboy.
The Irish dad, yes.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah. No, I think, it's very much, how are the kids now? It's not very much like, are you like, you're alright, you've got on with life, but how am I actually?
Oh, yeah.
Are they alright?
That's what my dad's waiting for, yes.
I'm like, no, I rang you to ask you if you're, are you going to ask me if I, no? Okay, bye. But I know every single member of my family are proud of me, and they don't need to say it.
And you just say you've got a couple of brothers as well?
I do
yes.
I have altogether 3 older brothers.
Right, okay.
And a sister. 2 brothers live. One brother lives in London, one brother lives in Singapore, the other brother lives in Florida with a sister in St. Bart's.
So they're seeing you shine from a distance.
Yeah, they are.
Love it. So from the whipped body butters, then at what stage did you think, well, in fact, do you know what, before I ask you that question,
okay.
How was it when you started to receive the feedback from these? Because you are essentially changing people's lives, and I think that's one of the things that's so special about you and what you're doing. Again, you've not allowed the psoriasis to define you. You've been through your own journey and own battles in terms of, like I said, sort of encountering people's ignorance along the way. But you are helping people who are probably similar age to you, but also parents who have got youngsters whose children probably the age that you were when it first flared up. It's itching. I'm sore. I don't know what's happening. And I've seen some of the reviews as well that come through, which I'm just they blow me away because do you actually realise the impact that you're having on people's lives with this? I don't think you do.
I don't think I do. I get what you read. I get them, and I read them, and my husband always says, "Oh, that's amazing! Like, look at the before and after." I'm like, yeah, it's crazy.
And this is the thing as well. It's actual pictures. So it's not just someone's writing. There's actual pictures to show this is before my child's skin or my skin before we started using your product, and look at it now. And we've tried everything from steroid creams and so on and so forth. And you can see a visible improvement.
And I get people saying, I'm literally a So Sona fan now. And I'm like, what? It's fine. And people will say to me, no, you changed my mind. And I'm just like...
Is that overwhelming for you?
Yeah, it is.
You're very modest and very humble about what you've achieved.
It's just, business is business. At the end of a business, you want to try and make some sort of income out of it, make money out of it. But from get-go, it's like, I just want to help people out there because I went through so much shit with my stuff.
Yeah.
And I wish I knew what I know now. But if I can just kind of pass that on and help. I don't know if you saw a 5-year-old who had scalp psoriasis. She's only 5 and she'd lost hair, and her mum literally was just like, people are looking at my daughter like in disgust, and it's like, you know what, why don't you try roots? A couple of months, like maybe a month, 2 months later, her hair's growing back, her scalp psoriasis is pretty much gone, and it's like, thank you so much because you've saved my daughter's life. Like you made her feel, and I can see she's only 5, but I can see that she's got so much more confidence in herself. And it's like, well,
because we don't take into consideration, especially when people are so much younger. Like I said, we spoke about the innocence of kids, but also kids can also be very cruel when it comes to bullying, and especially if they don't know what's happening. So, as a parent sending their child into school
it's
who
hard.
is suffering with this,
it's hard. And I'm a parent myself, so my daughter at one point had alopecia, and it just kind of happened. She just had these couple of patches of just bald hair. It's like, well,
how old was she at this point?
She was maybe 4.
Right.
Yeah, she was 4. So Sona Skin was not about. So I was using oils that just from the shops. And, Indian sort of oils made and stuff. And then there was one thing that actually helped, and I just thought, oh my God. Then I wish I had Roots, which is my scalp and hair oil, which is there somewhere.
Let's have a look. We've got Roots, is that one?
Yeah.
Hair and scalp oil with... See, I've been looking into amla because that is something... Is that more so within the Indian community?
Yeah, amla oil is something that I've grown up
Does it genuinely help with hair growth?
That's probably... So before Roots, I was using a product called amla oil, I think, and it's green and it stinks and it's horrible. But that's the stuff that worked on my daughter.
Right, okay.
And within weeks, she started having little hairs come back. And still now, she's got her long hair, and she's got that much hair from the back, which is the new hair
that's come through.
That's come back.
Amla, cucumber, and hemp seed oil.
Yeah.
So when did you go, or when did you sort of realise that, do you know what, these body butters are doing something great? I'm going to expand my range. Because we've got, let's say, just again for the people who can't see.
Yeah.
We've got the body butters. Yeah. We've got, we'll go through some of the oils. You've got candles. When you start pulling that, I said, you've got candles.
Yeah.
Love Sense candle. And you've got, are they all exfoliated soaps?
Yeah, so you've got whipped body butters, which is what I started with. And then I ranged out to gentle exfoliating soap bars.
Yeah.
After that, I did candles. Then I did Roots, which is my scalp and hair oil. And recently launched massage and body oils.
Right. So just get stuck in here. So you've got, are these all help to work together?
Yeah.
So you've got the body and massage oils. Do they all essentially do the same thing? Oh, prickly pear.
Yeah. So these massage oils I came out after I had my little one, because when I was pregnant, I'm sure there's lots of oils out there, but then there wasn't an oil that kind of suited my skin.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, you know what, maybe I need to bring out an oil which is great for somebody who is pregnant, it's great for somebody who wants to reduce any stretch marks or has psoriasis. And
Is that what these can do?
yeah, so, well, yeah, I mean, you've got rosehip oil, you've got carrot seed oil, and your golden owl, which is great for stretch marks, great for reducing fine lines. All the scents are the same as the butters, so you're not going to smell anything different. I have Dusk here as well, which I don't have the butter for because I've sold out of that. But Dusk is great for somebody who has acne-prone skin because you prickly pear seed oil in there.
I think I first came across prickly pear in Morocco.
I bet, yeah. Morocco's great for all of that stuff, you know. So Dusk is great for anybody who has acne-prone skin. It will literally, you know, sort of leach out all the antibacterial. So you've got the charcoal in there as well. So that's really great for anybody who has sort of that they think is acne-prone skin. Or you've got the, you know, the spots and the bumps that you get on your back, and you've got sort of that texture sort of skin.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great for that. He's like, so.
And is this
massage
just for
oil.
body? This isn't for hair.
That's just for the body.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
but
roots
if you
is the one
wanted
that's just
to
for
put
hair.
It's oil. I mean, you could do whatever you want with it, really. You know what I mean? You can. You could do whatever you want.
Well, the fact it's all natural.
Like, I was on TikTok yesterday, and there was somebody who uses Head and Shoulders on her face because it helped her with her acne.
Really?
So it's like, well,
If it works
what's
for
for
you.
hair, what's for body,
Yeah.
and what's for face? You might as well do what you want to do, you know. And then you've got the aromatherapy candles, which smell, and
Don't smell this, Liam.
That's nice.
That sounds really well, does it?
Oh yeah, that's nice.
Do you like a scented candle? Again, is that, you know, too
No,
flim
it's
flam
nice.
for
It's
you?
nice. It's nice. It's nice. It's nice.
Mm.
Again, I decorate it all myself and pour it in, and yeah.
What's this one? So we've got these. So that one was Blossom with lavender and lemon essential oils. Then we've got Evergreen, which is chamomile, lavender, mandarin, and patchouli. Oh look. That's really nice. Stop looking at me like that. Looking at me like I've gone mad.
And then you've got the golden hour one, which is your rose geranium, sweet orange, and turmeric essential.
Is that chamomile that was on the top of that one there?
Yes,
The evergreen.
that's right. Yeah.
That's lovely.
I was trying to figure out what you are. Wasn't sure if you're like a lemonade person or a calm sort of patchouli or a rose type. I love my rose. I'm a rose sort of girl. Anything with rose perfume, anything.
I nearly put my rose perfume myself. Well, I've got red berries and rose.
Oh,
Yeah, nearly went with that, and then I went with did I go with? I think pick my pink pepper. Pink pepper today. I just love scents and aromas.
You do.
And I've usually got some incense or something burning as well. So I've got all sorts of reeds and I've got I think that one there is that my chamomile reed? And then I've got mint in my bedroom. I've got all sorts, yes. But I think they can just help to just enhance moods or just be nice
100%.
and
It's a whole relaxed sort of. I do self-care, relax gift sets as well, where you can choose your body butter, your candle, have a soap with it as well, and it's a great gift to give to somebody.
What would you say to people who don't understand psoriasis or eczema, or people who really struggle with skincare?
It's okay if you don't know,
Mm-hmm.
but there are plenty of resources out there for you to understand it a little bit more, and it's on you to do your research about it. It's a whole journey, so embrace it. Try and accept it as soon as you can, because you just don't want it to, pull you down in life. You really don't want it to take over what you've already got, which is a beautiful life, probably have a beautiful family, and you have the support out there. You can talk to specialists, just ask for help, and it's okay to do that.
I've got some of my key questions for you as well. So, How do you define happiness, and how has it evolved over time?
Yeah, that's a good question. Happiness before was a struggle because it was trying to understand who I am, and then happiness I would probably try and find within people and their reactions towards me and what they thought of me. Now happiness is me making my potions, seeing my children in the garden, my husband playing with them, having the right people around me who understand me, appreciate me, love me, and vice versa. Because, as you know, Natalie, your whole group of friends that you might have had and way back when might narrow it down when it comes to it, and you might have just the 5 people that you can call your people.
Yeah.
And I have those people, and I would not change it for the world. And those are the people who I can go to be myself, laugh, be goofy, have good nights out with. And that's my happiness, and that's what makes me confident, because they're the people who get me, don't judge me, love me. And most of all, happiness is just knowing that things are alright. Like, you're fine the way you are. Just don't think that you have to change for anybody. You don't need to. You don't need to. Don't think that you have to please everybody out there. Because there's a time that I thought I would have to please somebody out there. I'd have to please people out there to make them understand that I'm good enough to be in your life.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think we've all gone there and we've been there, and now it's just you don't want me in your life. Hey, you've lost out.
Yeah.
Not
you
me.
lost.
Not me. And that's the way I see it. And like I said, happiness now is making my formula, making homemade food like granola bars that I did the other day, seeing my children play in the garden, and just having that peace of mind in my head instead of lots of noise. I just want peace in my head, and I don't want extra noise around me that is unnecessary, negative, or not going to do me good.
Would you say then peace is, because I was going to ask as well, what are your key factors that contribute to happiness, whether it's sort of relationships, money, success, wealth? Is peace a big one for you?
Peace is a massive one for me. There was a time when I would think there's a lot of things going on in your head because you're trying to do this and you're trying to accomplish this in life and you're trying to do this, and now it's just, if you like my skincare, great. If you don't like my skincare and it doesn't work for you, you know what, thank you so much for trying it, and I'm sorry it hasn't worked for you. That's that. Peace is just being with my family and friends who we have a good laugh with, and it's just taking each day as it comes instead of trying to figure out what I'm going to do next week, and I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow. Especially when you've got a young family and stuff, you don't know what's going to happen in the next hour. It could be trying to go to Tesco's, but really, the little one's just doing a big crap. Like, it's going to delay you an hour. Like, you literally don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know, and it's going with the flow. And my husband's always been like that. So I'm the person who's like, no, we have to be there on time.
More structured.
Yeah, like, listen, this is this. It's like, yeah, okay. But really, it's on his watch, because literally we just go with the flow. We might be there half an hour late, 1 hour late. Feel like it is what it is. Just don't take it with a pinch of salt and enjoy life. Just enjoy it. Like, life is too short. It really is, and you can't think that, oh, I haven't done enough. You might want to have so many houses by the time you're 30 and think that you're going to be a great business person and accomplish so much, but who knows what's going to happen tomorrow?
Yeah.
You just don't know. And it sounds very young, but I sound really old now. But it is what it is. Like, you just don't plan it. Be happy with what you've got. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy your skin. Enjoy the food and drink that you have. But just be clever about it, especially if you have a skin condition. Just remember what you're putting into your mouth.
Yeah.
instead of thinking, chocolate, really, is it going to affect you in the next couple of days? Yeah, it might do. So, a lot of things to that question, but yeah, I think that's what it comes down to, just inner peace with myself, and being happy with myself, and not wanting to please other people anymore. It's just, I'm going to please myself, and if tomorrow today I wanted to be on a show, then that's what's going to make me happy, and it surely has. It's been great.
Well, it's like I said, I've been wanting to speak to you for a long time, so I'm glad we got the chance to do it today. When facing challenging times, how do you overcome adversity, and how has that shaped your perspective on life?
Again, it was a struggle. I didn't know how to answer people when they said, "What is that on your skin?" I didn't know how to be me. I didn't know how to. Just wanted to hide. I just wanted to not show my skin. And so I think more so after, like I said, meeting my husband and realising that actually you're right, you're good the way you are, and you don't need to be accepted by everyone. It's not going to be, not everybody's going to like you. And I think that was probably one of the hardest things. That I just wanted everybody to like me. I wanted everybody to just want me in their life and stuff. But actually, if they don't want you, then they will push you as much as they want to, and then you'll just be left by yourself. And I think the main thing was that I needed to realise that I needed to be okay with myself first. Be alright being by myself, or going to dinner by myself, or going on holiday by myself, and just realising that at the end of the day it's you first, and then the rest of the world. And so when it came down to dealing with difficult people or difficult situations, I had to realise that I needed to be confident by myself. And once I had that, once I realised who I was walking into rooms where people were turning their heads, and that was me in my accomplishments done, sort of thing. I didn't need any sort of reassurance from anybody. Because like I said, I'm an amazing person, and I'm fun to be around, and most of all, I'm a real person. I don't know how to do fake. I don't know how to do bitchiness, and I don't know how to do all of that. I just want to.
That takes a lot more effort.
I think so.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of people, and I've been around a lot of people who actually have it in them to be that, and I do look at them and I think, so who are you really? Are you that person? Are you that person? Because I'm this.
Yeah.
And so what I'm going to be is this. So whether you like it or not, it's who I am. But that's why So Sona Skincare is so important to me, because all I want to do is be me and be able to just help someone. I don't want to be a millionaire tomorrow. I just want to be recognised for, she saved my life, or she helped my daughter so much, or if it wasn't for your skincare, I wouldn't be able to do X, Y, and Z. And that's more than enough for me. But I don't need glamour and money.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm just good.
How important do you consider maintaining your well-being and overall self-care to be?
Number one. It's again, that's something that you only realise over the years, that it's you yourself, and that's the most important. If you're not happy, people around you are not going to be happy. If you're not doing well, people around you will worry for you, and it's just a whole downhill thing, isn't it? You need to prioritise yourself, even if it is having, your little spa days, and it doesn't have to be on a Sunday. You have it on a Monday, have it on a Wednesday, have it every day of the week if you need to.
Yeah.
Do yourself that little pamper night, or go and see that friend that you haven't seen in so long, or catch up with that best friend that you've just got back from holiday, which I need to do. I'll see you soon. Do the things that make you happy, because that's the most important thing. It's don't just wait. What are you waiting for? Do you, because once you do you, your children, your family, everybody around you will be a lot more happier. If there's something on your mind and you need to talk about it, talk about it.
Yeah.
Please don't let it linger, because it will just eat at you.
Yeah.
And so well-being, eating the right food, exercising, which is something that I need to get back onto. But exercising was a massive thing for me before I had my children, and it really helped my skin. It really helped maintain your mental health.
Is exercise good for psoriasis?
So
then?
Good.
What kind of exercise did you do?
Cardio, just sweat it out.
Really?
Sweat, like you did yesterday. Oh my God. I was just like, I need to be there.
No, listen, you're more than welcome.
That.
You want to come for a run? This is my route around
I
here.
will get on just outside your street and be huffing and puffing. Like, I need to get back onto it, and mentally exercising, any form of half an hour.
And the sweating doesn't irritate the skin?
You just sweat it. It just
or it allows the skin to breathe more?
Breathe a little bit,
wow,
and then wash it off with like good skincare and stuff. It's fine.
Like So Sona.
Yeah, like So Sona Skincare. You know, use the gentle exfoliating soap bars. Do what you need to do, but exercising is a massive thing. Like, I went for a walk after having kids and stuff. Your life kind of revolves around them a little bit. So I'm slowly starting to find time for myself. So I went for like a 30-minute walk, and I felt great. And it was just a walk, but I wanted to get my 10k steps in, because 10k steps and everything, all these little pressures that come into life and stuff. And I did it, and it was great, and I loved it. And the next day, my booty hurt, but it was fine. It was okay. But well-being, looking after yourself, make it a number one thing. Don't slack on that. That's just naughty. Don't do that.
And one of the things I didn't ask as well, I mean, we've spoken about women when they have psoriasis, and obviously because we all want to be sort of beautiful, and then we're talking about the kids with skincare issues. But what I'm assuming that this isn't just something that is isolated purely to women. There's men out there as well who suffer from this. And have you had men who've also utilised the range?
Yeah, 100%. It's I think when you've got a skincare which is owned by women are more obliged to go to that skincare and think that okay, no, it's fine. But there are male, female out there who suffer with psoriasis, eczema, rosacea, dermatitis. There are all these skin conditions out there that people, if you are male and you are listening, you are more than welcome to use my skincare. It's not just a female oriented brand. It's all natural skincare. You can use it. My sister-in-law's dog uses it in Singapore on his paws, and he loves it. It's like, why not? You can do it. It's okay. So it's for anybody and everybody, whether you have a skin condition or not. If you just want to have natural skincare in your bathroom and you want to try it, go for it.
Have you ever had any men talk about their struggle to you with regards to, because again, as women, we want to be able to put on our makeup, look beautiful when we go out, but I think with guys, there's much more sort of bravado, but at the same time, is it more difficult for them to be able to then almost articulate how they feel? I'm not saying that they'll think it's a sign of weakness if they say, oh, my skin's really bothering me, or do they try to hide it, or do they just try and brush it off a little bit more?
In fact, it's the opposite. Usually the men just send me a picture and say, this is what my hand looks like, or this is what my skin looks like, that's what you recommend. And that's where we have the conversation. The conversation might be very short, very to the point.
Much more practical,
very
guys.
much to the point. This is what do you think? This is 9 times out of the 10, whatever I recommended, they will just order straight away. Like, there's no ifs and buts. Whereas I feel like women, we do look into reviews, we look into the ingredients, we look into if it's helped. Whereas I think for men, they go onto my website, they see that I've suffered from psoriasis myself, and this is my journey, and this is what I've done out of it. And then talk to me directly. It's like, you know what, why not? And I've seen before and after pictures, and it's great for men.
Do you know any statistics on? That's one of the things I was meant to do earlier in terms of people within the even just the UK who suffer with psoriasis, because it's a lot more than what people would actually expect.
Yeah, I did at one
Is it like 1 in 3 people or something? Let me have a look. If my reception wants to work. Let's have a look. Psoriasis. I had all this prepped when you came on the radio show, but obviously
1.7% of the UK population are affected. So around 1.1 million people in the UK.
1.1 million people.
That's in
You
2019.
got that up quick. I didn't even hear you type. I didn't even hear you type.
Keyboard warrior over there.
1.1 million.
Mm.
That's a lot.
So
Around
what you've got here: plaque psoriasis, scalp psoriasis. Is it guttate? Guttate psoriasis. Pustular psoriasis. Psoriasis in sensitive areas. Nail psoriasis. So there's all different types.
So much now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And have you ever been to any kind of organisations in terms of to get any kind of support, or is that not really?
No, I never thought about that.
No?
Really. No, I haven't really. I think I just kind of, it's just been a journey by myself.
Yeah.
Or with my husband, then really. Let's, he's seen the good days and the bad days.
What would you say to, let's say, I say sort of youngsters or anyone who's sort of in their maybe teens or early 20s who's getting to that point where they are wanting to date or they're wanting to settle down or wanting to find love? I mean, it sounds like, again, with regards to your husband, he sounds like an incredible man, and such a support function for you. But what, for those who are sort of sitting there thinking, I've got this issue with my skin, is anybody going to accept me for this? Because that must be a really sort of lonely place as well to be, to think that, am I ever going to be loved for who I am? So what would you say to someone who's on that particular journey at the moment?
If they see your skin and they react in a really negative way, be gone.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.
I don't need you in my life then. But if they see your skin and they are curious and they are asking you genuine questions because they don't know themselves,
Yeah.
and then they are still in touch with you after yours, it's a cute back.
Yeah.
Simple. There's no ifs and buts, or let me just see, no. Don't run after somebody who is not going to accept you or your skin.
Or making you feel less than
Or
than
making you
what
feel
you
less
are.
than 100%. I think with me and my husband, we were friends anyway. We were part of the same group. So when it did get to a point where he saw my skin and stuff, and he didn't flinch, that was when I knew, well, yeah, you're all right. Yeah, you're the one has just seen me for me and not really seen anything else, and that's enough for me.
How did you feel on your wedding day?
Great.
Yeah.
Great. It's an Indian wedding, wasn't it? So you can't show much of your skin.
Okay.
But I had my arms out.
Yeah.
But I had a lot of UV light done beforehand because I
Okay.
was so stressed out with the wedding. My skin flared up massively. So I was a little bit more darker than my initial makeup sort of trial booking. But it didn't matter because I was finding the person who accepted me if I was like dark, looking like a cheater or not. It was fine.
And again, just on the makeup front, if the people can't see.
She's
Because
asking
you used
me
to
a
be,
question,
yeah, 'cause you used
viewers.
to be.
So she's just looking at me and she's getting dazed a little bit.
It's the
And
eyelashes, it's the eyebrows, everything. It's just all the stuff that I'd love to. But you did used to be a professional makeup
I
artist
did,
as well, didn't you?
yeah. I used to work in. So I'm originally from Coventry, so I worked in Debenhams initially for a brand which goes way back, which is called Urban Decay. And I'm sure a lot of you viewers and listeners already know about that. And then I moved on to Huda Beauty.
Yeah.
In Selfridges, and I was a makeup artist since. Well, I'm still a makeup artist. Once a makeup artist, always a makeup artist, I think. A lot of my knowledge came from being on the shop floor, if I was quite honest. And,
Okay.
knowing that there's brands out there who do have the right sort of ingredients, but all these ingredients still had a lot of stuff that I couldn't pronounce still, and they weren't natural, and I had a lot of customers going, I've got eczema on my skin, I'm going out tonight, it's my 21st, but every time I put makeup on, it just looks so dry and flaky. And then I would go and get oils from Kiehl's, I'd go and get oils from here and then apply it, and then I'd get messages saying, oh, my makeup hasn't looked like this ever. And the way you did my makeup and the base that you did, you took care of the base first, then the makeup, and it's like, okay, maybe I need to start doing a little bit of research myself, because there's people out there who can't when it comes to makeup, if your skin is not great, your makeup's not going to look great.
Yeah.
If your skin is flaky or it's dry or anything like that, you put a full coverage foundation on it, it's just going to sit on your skin instead of blend into your skin and look like your skin. And that's what it's all about these days, especially now. It's, you know, the whole term of my skin is skinning, you know, and it's that natural skincare but still looking like a beat glam sort of thing. So that's when I had a lot of customers saying, I've got psoriasis and I've got eczema and I don't know what to do, and I always have it underneath my eyes, you know, because you can get eczema on the eyelids. You can get it, all these skin conditions anywhere of your body sort of thing. So that's when I started thinking, you know what, I think if I did something, I could actually talk to all of these customers and say, you know, maybe you want to like look into my brand and see what happens. As I said, when I did launch So Sona Skincare, some of the customers were customers that I had from, you know, overcame or kind of beauty sort of thing. So yeah.
Do you deal with them? Do you ship internationally?
I do ship internationally. Yeah, I ship quite a lot to America actually.
Okay. Because I know we do have some people who watch and listen in the States who...
I get a lot of orders. We just got an order just yesterday for the body and massage oils, 3 golden hours that I need to ship off to America. So America's quite the popular one actually. A lot of people just naturally search for it.
Liam, are you able to do your little look and see what percentage in America suffers from psoriasis?
I can indeed.
Yeah.
While he does that as well, my last question is, what is your go-to song? If there's a piece of music or a song that, if you're having a day where you're in a bit of a funk and you think, oh, I just need to pick me up, or just a certain song that is always guaranteed to put you in a good mood. It's going to go onto the Nattabox Spotify playlist.
I think I'm going to say Destiny's Child. I don't know what the song is. It's the Ladies. I think maybe it's called
Not Survive. Is it
Not Survivor?
Not Survivor.
We need a rendition, I think. I think we need a rendition.
I'm definitely not going to... Oh my gosh. Let's have a look.
I should have.
I can't remember the last time I listened to some Destiny's Child, to be fair.
But Destiny's Child was something that I used to... They've grown up listening to. Usher, Destiny's Child. You know, you can't go wrong with all these, you know, classic R&B sort of songs. And now I don't understand them.
Oh, independent women. All the ladies who are independent, throw your hands up at me.
Oh God, no! Please, not that one.
That's one with ladies. No, not that one. We'll find it.
In the meantime,
we'll find it. We'll add it to the list.
Absolutely.
In the meantime,
3.2% of women and 2.8% of men in 2021 in the US suffer with psoriasis. That's just over 7.4 million people aged 20 years or older.
Wow.
About 7.4 million.
That's a lot of people.
A lot of people, isn't it?
That's a lot of people who on a daily basis are going through some kind of a struggle.
And that's in America. Right?
Yeah.
So that's in America. And then what did you say? What was it? 1.1 million in...
Here.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, I think it's 1.7 mil in the UK.
So don't blame me when you're going to have to start getting more staff in because you're going to be selling millions of the body
You're
butter.
hired, actually. You are hired.
Listen, I will come down and do a bit of piping. In fact, one day it'd be nice to only you, Liam. One of the days we'll have to, it'd be nice to come and see you in action doing what you do.
Yeah, 100%.
And then we'll have some kind of a little follow-up. But we're going to make sure that that we put sort of links to websites and all that kind of stuff as well. So for people who are listening, what is your website?
It's sosonaskin.com.
And that's So Sona, SOSONA, skin.com.
Skincare.com.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Liam, as always, is there anything that I've forgotten to ask that you can think of that you would like to ask Sona?
I've got 3 little questions.
Okay.
I've got 3. With your makeup, can it affect the skin? Because a lot of teens, I guess, they'll sort of think, oh, well, like, I'm just going to cover it in makeup and worry about it tomorrow when I have to wipe my makeup off, whatever. Is there anything that teenagers shouldn't do, or just people in general shouldn't put on their face, or?
I think a lot of teenagers now are going into Selfish's Sephora and getting themselves retinol and this, that, and other. And when you're a teenager and you're 15 years old, or you don't need that to your skin. And
the skin's still developing,
it's
surely.
still developing, and it's a whole thing. I don't know if you've seen it on TikTok, where girls are going in and they're asking for retinol, they're asking for this, that, and other, and it's like, when I was your age, and no joke, I was climbing trees. And I looked like shit.
I've still got the scars on my knees from doing exactly,
And
building dens.
I was getting beat up by my brothers because we were at WrestleMania, and you know, all of that stuff was happening.
Yeah.
And The Rock, and all of that was happening. So, in terms of makeup, if you put makeup on your irritated skin already, you're either going to feel it or you're going to see it. And it's not, makeup will not cover it up. It doesn't matter if you put shitloads on, it's not going to help. So the advice would be just work on your skin first. Look into concealers if you're really, really sort of conscious about your skin. I have really dark circles because I'm not getting much sleep, but there's things like correctors, there's things like concealers that can help that. There are things like tinted moisturizers like Natalie you wear, which is great, great with your SPF. Don't forget your SPF. We don't get much sun. Usually it's rain and clouds, but we still need to protect our skin.
Yeah.
So if you're going to wear makeup, wear it the right way. Less is more, and don't overdo it. Understand your skin first. Once you understand your skin, the makeup will kind of follow, and you'll understand what works for you. If you don't know how to do that, TikTok, social media, everybody's a makeup artist now. So follow somebody that you think is relatable, or go into a store and ask somebody, because all the girls on the counters are very helpful. You're not bitches, we are actually so nice. And I think a lot of people think that when you go into big stores like Selfridges and Sephora, the girls are really intimidating, this, that, and other. But actually, you just ask, they'll be fine.
But to all the youngsters, let your skin develop.
Let your skin develop,
yes.
Please. Don't be putting on, niacinamide and all this retinol and things that I can't bloody say myself.
It's true.
I can't.
It's
I have
true.
to go to Google and tell me to pronounce it first, and then see. So what was I using? Nivea.
Cocoa butter.
Cocoa butter, Nivea. I think that's what it was, and I didn't know about hyaluronic acid and this and that, and that's only now.
I've got some of those things now, and even then I don't really know what they're for.
You don't know what step to put it in, and that's, you don't know if you put it before you moisturize, after you moisturize, like what do you do? And there's a whole process, and something that you've got to learn yourself and understand. But as teenagers, just chill, please.
Good question.
He's got another one.
Yeah.
I'll go just one more. Just
Okay.
one more then. What's next? Is there another product in the making, or anything you can see yourself in the future?
There's a few things that I would like to come out with, and one of them is a moisturizer. A lot of people have asked me for a moisturizer, and another one would be a shampoo.
Okay.
To treat scalp psoriasis, and I think that's something that I need to trial for myself, see if it works. But yes, I have ingredients at home to make moisturizers. I have ingredients at home to make shampoos. It's just finding the right finding time at the moment, and just making sure I've got the right ingredients in them to help, because there's shampoos out there which are
I tried to go down the road. I think I've got shampoo bars now as well.
That's right.
I've been using natural shampoo bars, but I go down the route of natural, because the amount of chemicals in them, and as I'm getting older as well, my hair's starting to feel like my hair's starting to get more fine. So I'm concocting evenings rosemary and rosemary, cloves and cinnamon to make like a little spray, and just all these sort of natural little things to just try and help to sort of naturally, because I think people, again, we forget that everything that we cream our skin, it all absorbs into the system, which is why I love the fact that all of this is all natural. So the shampoo side of things, good luck with that, because I think there's going to be a lot of people that will jump on that once you bring it to market.
I think so. I think and if it helps my scalp psoriasis, then hey, you're welcome. Let's do it for everybody else. Yeah.
What was your last one?
We've got one more. I think.
Yeah. You did say 3.
Have you ever had to talk to like a therapist or counsellor while you're going through the really tough stages of, you know, feeling self-conscious and that sort of thing?
I wish I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I haven't. Unfortunately or fortunately, my counsellor therapist has been my husband.
Yeah.
So he's had to hear it all and go through it all with me. But especially after my having my daughter, I had postpartum. Is it postpartum
Depression.
I had that, and at that point, I didn't understand what it was, and you're an Indian woman. Everybody gives birth. Like, how are you different? Like, just get on with it. That was my mentality. Like, but I wish I spoke to somebody then, because that's when I felt it a lot, and my skin was going through a lot.
How did that impact you?
It's crazy, but I think a lot of people will relate to when I say when you have a baby, you feel alone.
Okay.
Even if you have all the support around you, and it's hormones, it's like you've just pushed a life out.
Yeah.
Like only that person will understand when I say it's a crazy experience. It's especially if you're doing it all natural, which is what I did. I did hypnobirth. I did that twice now.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, we had a hypnobirthing expert on a couple of weeks ago.
It's a beautiful experience, but you feel every single thing,
Right.
and I kept saying to my husband, I feel like I'm really loud when I'm like screaming and stuff. But it's probably the best experience on both occasions. The second one more so. But even after, with the second one, I'm doing a lot better than my first child. But with the first one, I wish I talked to a doctor. I wish I went and talked to a doctor, because my skin was playing up a lot more than, because my skin was clear when I was pregnant. Then from that to going to flaring up and back to how I felt like when I was in my teens and stuff, it was a whole cycle. And then up at night every 2 hours, breastfeeding. It's all these things that actually I don't feel women talk about enough. Nobody prepares. I kept like when your waters break, because I don't know, but nobody ever talks about it, and I just felt very alone then. And it was, my husband wasn't understanding as much as well, because we've never had a baby before. It's sleepless nights. He was working out. He'd come home, and then my daughter would be asleep, and there were so many different things going on. And I think that was the one time where I struggled. It was hard. I wish I 100% wish I talked to somebody then. So if you are going through anything, postnatal depression at the moment, you're not alone. Women go through it all the time, and there are plenty of organisations actually out there that can support you. Go and talk to your doctor and say, listen, I'm not doing great. And there's so many things going on in my head, and I don't know how to narrow it down, and I don't know how to deal with all these emotions, because it's an emotional journey once you've had a child. It's not just, oh, here's a baby, happy days.
Yeah.
It's all these things going on. So
don't be afraid to ask for help.
Don't be afraid. Yeah, 100%.
Look at you, Leah.
It's on it.
Look at you, just becoming this huge expert on women. You guru, you. I hope you put all this knowledge to good use. Sona, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you here today. Again, having had the chance to speak with you sort of via the radio waves over the last sort of couple of years, to sort of have you here in person and meet you in person, you already know that I think you are a phenomenal woman, and this, to see it go and just build and flourish, it's just beautiful to watch your journey, how it's evolved to this point. And like I said, I can't wait when I see you on shelves in all the big department stores and so on and so forth, and when you're like, I've just had to hire umpteen people because I just can't cope with the workload on my own anymore. You should, like I said, you are very sort of humble and modest with what you do, but you're making a hell of a difference to a lot of people's lives, and you should be very, very proud of yourself.
Thank you so much. But I have a question for you.
Oh. This is flipping the script, okay.
What would you say? What advice would you give your younger self?
Oh.
gosh.
This is good.
That is a good question.
I thought so. I'm after a job too.
What advice would I give my younger self?
With everything that you've gone through in life so far, and I don't, to the viewers and everybody listening, I don't know Natty on a personal level, but I do realise that she is an amazing superwoman herself.
Oh, bless you. There's been a lot. I've never really told my story, but I would say, what would I tell my younger self? Don't worry about other people's opinions.
Facts.
Don't worry about. Yeah, don't worry about what other people have to say. If there's something that you want to do, and it feels right to you, then just do it. Don't miss out on opportunities or look back because you made certain decisions because I was too concerned about, what would so-and-so say, or how would I be perceived for this? It just
sounds like what I've been saying.
Yeah, it doesn't make any difference. Other people, I would say other people's opinions don't count. They do, but they don't. It's, I would say just follow whatever's in your heart, go with that. And, the right people will be with you for that journey, which again you sort of said in terms of, and I think when you said about you'll always know your 5 core people. Yeah. Doesn't matter how many people you're surrounded with, there will always be those key people that's your go-to, that's your team. People. Yeah. 100%. So I would say don't worry about what everybody else thinks. Just do what feels right in your heart. As long as obviously it's good stuff and it's all for the sort of the right kind of reasons, but do what's in your heart, and whoever's meant to be there on that journey with you will be there. The right ones will stick. Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me on.
I've never been asked a question by one of my guests before. I felt quite strange but nice. No, thank you.
No problem.
And yes. Can't wait to see the next things that arrive in the range. Congratulations again on being such a phenomenal woman and motherhood for the second time around.
Thank you so much.
I think your husband and your children and the rest of your family are very, very blessed to have you. And just thank you for inspiring people out there as well that need that inspiration. And I'm hoping that there's someone that would have been listening today or watching to think, oh my God, I so needed to hear that. Yeah. Sona is me. And that was just the little pep talk that I needed. So congratulations on coming so far in such a short space of time. And like I said, really excited to see what's next.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And that's it for the latest episode of Nattabox. Always a treat, as I should say, because sometimes I forget. Don't forget to like, follow or subscribe to make sure that you don't miss out on any of the next episodes. And in the meantime, thanks for tuning in with myself, Natalie Graham. And until the next episode, this is Nattabox. Take care.